Next on Startup, I'm going to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to meet with John, who created Pittsburgh Paragliding, a company that's taken Pittsburgh tourism to new heights. And then we're going to Bucktown in Chicago, Illinois to talk to Brock and Prosper from Vivid Braille, a retail clothing store with a creative twist. And last, we're going to Indianapolis, Indiana to meet with Colin, who invented the Garden Tower Project, a new way of growing your own fresh, organic produce. All of this and more is next on Startup.
The entrepreneurial spirit is alive and well. In Walsh College's business launch entrepreneurial community, consultants provide advice to aspiring business starters. More information available online.
The Chevrolet Volt, an everyday electric car with gas for longer trips. The nature of things to come. Chevrolet, find new roads.
American Express is proud to support Startup and the millions of small businesses that put in the hard work to be open for business in neighborhoods across the country.
My name is Gary Brado, and I'm a documentary filmmaker and an entrepreneur. The economy is in less than perfect shape, and when the jobs go away, there's nothing left to do but get up and get creative. And there are people all over America doing just that. It's estimated that up to 85% of new businesses fail. So I'm going coast to coast to hear the personal stories of the people who beat the odds and started a successful business from the ground up. This is Startup. Today I'm in Lawrenceville, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We're going to talk to John, who started Pittsburgh Paragliding. Let's go hear his story. Paragliding is the recreational and competitive sport of flying in which the pilot sits in a harness suspended below a hollow fabric wing. Air enters the vents in the front of the wing, and guided by suspension lines, the air flowing over the outside is what allows for flight. Paraglide flights can last for many hours and cover hundreds of miles. The attraction to many paraglide pilots is the portability of fitting a full wing into your backpack. John Potter took on several odd jobs over the years to save up enough money to buy his own paraglide and travel around the world, taking his passion to new heights. But he had to bring his knowledge back home and teach Pittsburgh how to fly. The paragliding aspect, where did that come into play? What was the first time that you paraglided? Tell me what happened from that point.
Basically was self-taught. I just got away, taught myself off of Google, and did that. Last year I got my actual paragliding license. I went out and took a week-long course, and so now I'm certified. And so then I did a bunch more flights. I mean, was just flying every single day, getting up a lot of experience. Then I thought, you know what, I could actually do this and make money.
Okay, so tell us who you are and what it is you're doing out here today.
My name's Kristen, and I'm here to learn how to paraglide. John is the type of person, in terms of teachers, who you seek out as a teacher. He's the kind of person who says to the student, look at what you can do, which is like top notch.
Oh my gosh, he's flying. Now he's going right over us. Yay! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! That was awesome, man. What was the investment that you had to make to launch the paragliding business?
Biggest cost is getting your license. The average is about $1,000. And then you got to buy the wings, and the wings, I mean, you can get them used for anywhere from $600 to $1,000 or buy them new for $4,000. And that was all just savings. I mean, I did little side jobs, like I worked on farms when I was traveling. I did really whatever I could. I mean, it was the biggest risk I've ever taken, to put every penny I had into buying 8 wings so I could teach people, and it paid off.
You bought 8 different wings?
I bought 8 wings, yeah.
How is the business doing up to this point? Are you profitable? Is this the only thing that you do? Is it working full time for you?
It's working full time. I actually work 2 days a week, and I make enough to, fund my lifestyle. And
2 days a week?
2 days a week, and then I can travel the world for a week every month, and yeah, paid, wings depreciate in value and in, actual usability very slowly. So, I mean, that's a huge upfront cost, but once that's done, it's all profit. It's just your time.
It's the people who make a business successful, not the product, not the service, and not the invention. Entrepreneurs should always focus on building a great company as much as they do a great product. So we went to the tattoo shop earlier.
We did.
You got some new ink.
Yes.
Explain what your whole tattoo model is on your arm now.
So this is Machu Picchu. Like I said, I was the first person to speed fly off it. Then I was the first person to not only speed fly, but parachute off Petra. And this is the ruins of Petra. So basically, I'm trying to be the first person to fly, parachute, whatever, off all the 7 wonders of the world. And so every single time I do one, I'm going to get the tattoo until I get all
Do you
set.
think the big Jesus cross in Brazil is going to be the hardest?
That's going to be the absolute hardest.
What impact did having the website and having a kind of a social media presence online, how did that start to grow and impact your business?
The best thing for the paragliding business has been doing these world record flights. I'll go, like when I did Machu Picchu, business just exploded overnight because I was on international news, you know, first person to do this Machu Picchu flight. And then I had people calling me like, are you the guy? And I want to learn from you tomorrow.
Right.
And that was huge. And so the whole Petra flight I just did, you know, a week and a half ago. And then the news story ran yesterday, and I'm expecting a huge flurry of customers.
The main difference between speed flying and paragliding is that in speed flying, the pilot uses a smaller wing, which is meant to create a fast, thrilling ride close to the slope, while paragliding maintains a longer, gentler flight. What is all this stuff? What is it that we're doing?
So basically, we're flying. Paragliding is the best form of flight because basically with a big ball of fabric, some strings, you can run off the hill and you can be a pilot. And that is what our company is all about. So paragliding started about 30 years ago and the French invented it. The goal is to be able to fly off the Alps, and that's where it all started, was the dream to fly off high mountains.
So for a guy like me that's never done anything even remotely close to this, you're telling me that I'm gonna go from like 0 to flying today?
0 to hero in 2 hours, yeah.
Really?
Really.
So I should not jump off Machu Picchu yet.
I would not recommend it. Okay. And once you're in the air, you have these 2 controls and you can actually control both sides of the wing.
What if the chute collapses weird and...
You don't let that happen. So I'm gonna strap you up. Does that feel pretty comfortable? Does it feel?
I feel snug.
Snug should be not too snug. I mean, it's uncomfortable or it's?
It could loosen maybe a tiny bit, but I feel snug. The pilot is connected to the wing by at least 30 lines, any one of which is strong enough to support your weight.
So now what we're doing is we're gonna get our hands ready and we are running down the hill, pulling this wing above our head. You wanna be chest parallel to the ground. You're swinging your arms back and you want your arms parallel, and then you take off. And so if you're running down the hill, even if as fast as you can and you're not leaning forward, you're not gonna fly. Most people are tempted once the wing starts to pick them up to jump. They wanna just jump and fly. The problem is the wing jumps too, it collapses, and then you do what I call the penguin dive because you're leaning forward and you're just sliding down the hill. Are you ready to go?
It's gonna be fun, man.
Run, run. Run this way. Now. Let go. Lean. No. Pull in your right hand. Not too much. Hold out.
Do you think that jumping off of things is an analogy for the way that you live your life with business?
I would say so. I mean, you have to do the training, do the research to actually do it safely, and it's scary and it's thrilling and exhilarating, but at the end of the day, your parachute's gonna open 99% of the time.
Great analogy. I couldn't have punned that one better myself, I'll tell you. Well, thanks a lot, John.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
out.
As you can see, flying can be a very hostile environment. But John's idea really took flight when he turned his passion for parasailing into a viable business. Remember, if you have something that you believe in, don't let anybody take the wind out of your sails. For more information, log on to our website and click the link for Pittsburgh Paragliding. We're in the Bucktown neighborhood of Chicago right now, and this place is awesome. There's all these little shops and restaurants and boutiques, and nothing epitomizes the entrepreneurial spirit more than the 2 guys we're going to talk to, Brock and Prosper, who started Vivid Braille. Personal income and fashion trends drive demand for clothing, and the profitability of individual companies depends heavily on effective merchandising and marketing. Small stores can compete by offering unique merchandise, targeting a specific demographic, providing superior customer service, and serving a local market. Brock and Prosper actually make and print the clothing in the front retail space, a practice that differentiates them from other local clothing boutiques. What's your name and where do you live?
My name is Rita, I'm from Bucktown.
And is this your first time at Vivid Braille?
No, I come here quite often. Everything is like hand-picked. I like the art, I like the scenery, it just feels like home. You can't get these things at a department store.
Vivid Braille. I want to know about the name. I want to know how it came about and your philosophy for this business.
It started many years ago in Michigan. I just had this passion to do something big, something beyond myself. I was never cut out for a job. We could go on about the jobs that I've lost or did not work. Yeah. I would start to sell my line to stores in Detroit, and then from there we would do trade shows in Las Vegas and New York and just kind of build the brand that way. About 2.5 years ago, I decided to move here.
Brock and Prosper chose Chicago's Bucktown neighborhood because of the affordable rent, the high population of young professionals, and the existing reputation of being a boutique shopping district.
It's always been a passion of mine to have more of a direct relationship with my customer base, and I was just really getting tired of having to deal with all those different people between me and my consumer. So I always was really intrigued by having a retail location, and so we did something that's not only a retail location but also serves as my studio space. So I create here, we do a lot of manufacturing here, and it just makes a really cool ambiance for the store. This is a 4-color screen printing press. Take a black, looks like a medium t-shirt. And this is just a 1-color print. And there it is.
Sweet.
Oops.
Just like that.
Yep, just like that.
The 50 largest clothing companies account for about 65% of the industry's revenue. The name Vivid Braille, where did that come from?
Many years ago, I wanted something that was timeless, something that I knew I could be proud of the name in 20 or 30 years. And it really is a metaphor, what I felt was the ultimate way of designing and creating, which the vivid aspect of the name is just the visual side of what we do. And the Braille is a metaphor for something that can be felt. I think in fashion, the visual tends to sometimes compromise the value of the product or the message behind it.
Right.
And I wanted both to be equal. I had looked for a space in a number of different cities, LA, Detroit, Chicago being a couple, San Francisco. And once I settled on this spot, I just did it. And then once I decided to do it and I signed the lease, as I was prepping, Prosper, and he starts telling me, man, I'm really looking at, doing something else. And I valued his taste, his style, his aesthetic, and it just fit like perfectly. So he got his thing together, and then it went from there. When you go to a bank, they want to see a business plan, and then they want to see all these. They want to see you take your customer and break them down into like a statistical number.
Cellular level, right.
And at the end of the day, it comes down to just a gut feeling. And I did a lot of research, and I took my time, and it just kind of happened naturally.
Yep.
And just, with Prosper, everything just kind of happened naturally. I signed the lease in May, and started like immediately redoing it, and wasn't able to open until October 22nd, and this guy kept forcing me to make sure it was perfect before we could open up. So I kept I wanted to open because I had been in here just remodeling, telling myself it'd only take a month, and it ended up taking 4 months.
Did you have to sign a personal guarantee?
No, I just signed the lease.
A personal guarantee is the equivalent of a signed blank check without a date. It makes the borrower personally liable for their debts and obligations. Did they give you 60, 90, 120 rent-free, anything like that when you acquired the space?
No. There was a slight negotiating there where I think I got 15 days or so. It's all up for negotiation, and there's a lot of leverage that can be found. If it doesn't work out with this place, you can simply go across the street, find another place, so it's all negotiable.
How do you get into a space like this, without a loan?
Well,
ballers.
Yeah. No, honestly, just good friends, people help.
Okay.
I had some momentum already built up. I'm sure he did too, being in the business, where you have a little bit of a savings going and a little bit of faith. And once you open the doors, you can create some cash flow. At least in our type of business, there was already a little bit of cash flow going with the store, so we were able to get up and running pretty efficiently with not a lot of money.
The average U.S. consumer spends around $250 per year online on apparel. This category has seen a 30% annual growth rate.
We didn't really write a business plan between us. We kind of just have confidence and just go with the flow.
Yeah.
We both have experience and we love what we're doing, so the drive just kind of like push us, and like just the love of it just kind of like day by day.
So you guys did not write out
off of each other, you know. Most of the customers that come to this neighborhood, they obviously know about it, and they know about the neighborhood, and they know about the stores. They're reading it in the right place, so it's just placement. How we market is just the right placement. So
everything about our business is about authenticity, craftsmanship. So fortunately for us, we have to be very authentic in our marketing approach. You don't ever see a huge billboard with the Vivid Braille logo on it. I don't foresee that happening. It just wouldn't make sense. For me to be able to do this and be able to see customers come in and interact with my product, the stuff that I've done, you know, made with my hands, there's no better feeling. So it's fun. It's a lot of work, but I'd rather, if I'm gonna go down, I'd rather go down on my own terms than go down on someone else's terms, and so that's how I look at it. So
how much of this comes down to like supporting local business? You live here in Bucktown, there are local businesses. Does that have something to play into it, or?
Yeah, because everything is actually American made. Everything is produced in Chicago or Detroit, and that's what makes it even more special.
Man, what a cool concept. And it just goes to show you, you take a couple of guys that have individual, very unique and valuable skill sets and put them together in a space, and they come up with something like Vivid Braille. Log on to our website and click the link for Vivid Braille. I'm in Bloomington, Indiana, and we're gonna go talk to Colin, the creator of the Garden Tower project. Now, although Colin doesn't have a background in horticulture, he does have a vested interest in the organic food supply shortage in America. Colin took his background as a general contractor and an inventor and found an inexpensive way for people to grow their own organic vegetables. Let's go hear his story. Organic farming is the science of growing fruits and vegetables by following the essential principles of organic agriculture. This includes soil building and conservation, pest management, and heirloom variety preservation. Through attention to good, healthy soil condition, it is expected that insect, fungal, and other problems that sometimes plague plants can be minimized. Colin and his team have invented a product that consolidates your entire farm into a simple food barrel. They're on a mission to make organic farming simple and inexpensive for people all over the world. What is your history, background professionally, education?
I have no formal education in mechanical engineering whatsoever, but I'm an inventor, and I had no fear whatsoever that I could come up with it. It was just a matter of a lot of trial and error and a lot of research. The internet was fantastic to actually learn about how to design something that would work correctly, because when I invented it, I knew almost nothing about gardening, and I sought out information on how people successfully grow food. I did most of my research, to be honest with you, on YouTube. And I just watched hundreds of videos and figured out what works right, working with my list of criteria to have a marketable product. And I kind of put the project in my brain, and I just sat with it for a few months as I developed it. It wasn't a Yahoo, eureka moment at all. It was kind of like a long, drawn-out process.
I became involved with the Garden Tower project about 2 years ago when I trialed a couple of units and was so impressed with the results that I began growing in them and have continued since.
How did this go from being a really cool idea into a viable business?
This has been Colin's full-time gig for 3 years plus. I got to celebrate actually taking my first draft from the company last month, and that was because every dime we have goes into this company. We actually launched a Kickstarter in February, which concluded in March, and it was to basically drive business quickly and early on and allow us to make kind of a leap into this current version of the tower, which we call 1.1. We did about $88,000 in Kickstarter pre-orders and donations.
In 30 days.
32
That's
days.
incredible.
And
what were you seeking?
28,000.
You were looking for 28 and you got 88?
Yep.
Tell us who you are and what your affiliation is with the Garden Tower project.
My name is Benedict Jones. I came across the Garden Tower project and was lucky enough to get involved helping them develop business.
Benedict Jones was able to create a successful crowdfunding campaign through the use of an informative and educational video, several small donation levels, positive customer testimonials, and sharing the campaign across all social media networks. You became affiliated specifically to help make the Kickstarter more successful.
Yeah.
It seems like it was extremely successful.
It was. You know, they made 300% their goal. They exceeded the donations of their last campaign, and by all accounts, with the traffic and analytics we were looking at, it seemed to perform better.
The crowdfunding market nearly doubled in 2012, raising $2.7 billion worldwide and funding more than 1 million campaigns. This site that we're in right now is your production facility, correct?
Currently.
So tell me what we're standing over right now.
This is the garden tower. It's a vertical container gardening system, and it's the first one of its kind that actually creates its own organic fertilizer. You actually put your kitchen scraps inside the tube, your soil on the outside around the barrel, and your plants on the very outside in these pockets. And you introduce red wiggler worms into this environment right here, and it becomes a vermicompost. And what happens in a vermicompost is the worms will break down the vegetative matter and create worm castings, which is a beautiful organic fertilizer. So you have a organic fertilizer inside of your garden, and it's constantly creating that. And what happens is when you water the garden tower, you water from the top, gravity feeds all 50 plants. And as the water comes down, it's pulling nutrients from the soil that are created from the worms and from the vermicompost tube. And that water settles at the bottom, and you collect it through drain holes. And you reintroduce it back into the system. So that water over time becomes more and more nutrient dense. And as a result, you get very, very fast growth and very nutrient dense vegetables, flowers, whatever you want.
What is the cost per unit on this car?
Here in Bloomington, $229.
For organic agricultural products, the organic label assures that the foods were grown without the use of toxins, such as pesticides and fertilizers.
So you don't want to burn the barrel?
It starts to smell kind of nasty, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. That is cool.
You got to do 45 times.
45 times? How long does it take you to pull out one of these?
The first barrel that I make, it takes me 5 hours and a half.
5.5 hours?
Yeah, my first one, it takes me like 5.5 hours.
And now?
It takes me less.
It takes a lot. So you're slamming it, huh?
Yeah, you got to position it though.
Where are you selling right now?
We're really branching out with our new affiliate program, which just went online the last couple weeks. So those people that really like their tower and that have friends that see what they're doing, we can reward them as an affiliate with really generous commission structure and basically allow them to help us promote our product while generating a part-time or full-time business on their own.
Garden Tower's distribution model is based on online sales through their website and an affiliate program which allows people to purchase the Garden Tower at a wholesale price and sell at the suggested retail price. What advice would you give me, or would you have given yourself back before you started?
Well, if you're going to start a product, which is what I could specifically speak about, I would say do as much research as you can. You really have to then find out by talking to people that will be honest with you, is this something that you would purchase? Finding out from other people whether you have a viable product or not, or a viable idea is very, very important because everyone thinks they have the best thing.
Well, thanks a lot, guys, for your time. I think you're definitely making your impact on the world.
Thank you.
A great idea can grow at any moment, but what you do with that idea is what matters most. Colin surrounded himself with the people that could help make Garden Tower projects successful. And with his new distribution model, the possibilities are endless. For more information, log on to our website and click the link for Garden Tower Project.
Hi, I'm Scott Case. I'm the founding CEO of the Startup America Partnership. I was also the founding Chief Technology Officer for Priceline.com, and I spent my whole life as a startup junkie. One of the things that trip up a lot of entrepreneurs is that they spend a lot of time focusing on their problem, the solution to it, but they don't spend enough time building a network of people around them that care about what they're building. That network is critical to their success. Social media is a fantastic tool, particularly tools like Facebook and LinkedIn, where you can use them as mechanisms to keep connected to the people as you're building your business. They really are a reflection of your real-world network, and it's really important to not separate those two things out. You need to meet people in person and where they are. That's still how we interact, but social media in general can be a great tool to reflect those relationships and allow you to maintain them over long periods of time. So I'd say that social media plays an important role, but don't let it get in the way of building a real-world network with real people.
Next time on Startup, we're in Brooklyn, New York to talk to Monique, who created Aquaba Bed and Breakfast, a unique inner-city concept that has tourists flocking to Brooklyn. And then we're gonna head to Milwaukee, Wisconsin to talk to Ray, who created Ray's Indoor Mountain Bike Park, a destination that lets everyone from beginners to pros ride their bike all year round. And last, we're gonna visit Indianapolis, Indiana to talk to Heather, who created Retro 101, Indy's first boutique on wheels. Make sure to join us next time on Startup. Visit our website at startup-usa.com and like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. What do you call organic food? What did they call organic food in 1950?
No idea.
Food.
Exactly. Exactly.
American Express is proud to support startup and the millions of small businesses that put in the hard work to be open for business in neighborhoods across the country.
The Chevrolet Volt, an everyday electric car with gas for longer trips. The nature of things to come. Chevrolet, find new roads.
The entrepreneurial spirit is alive and well. In Walsh College's business launch entrepreneurial community, consultants provide advice to aspiring business starters. More information available online